Hello and welcome to the last game of today. We are watching Season 7 of StarSeries. And we are in Day 5. It is Game 5. It is Poseidon taking on Uebelst. Poseidon, who just had a very strong game up against Power Ranger, and Uebelst, who has been in StarSeries since yesterday, replacing CD, which Poseidon, by the way, already faced earlier this week, but of course Uebelst has to play their games again. So here we are again, and we're gonna see if Uebelst can win their first game of the series, of the season, because they have not had such luck yet. Of course, with me is Vykromond. Vykromond, welcome back.
Sorry, so were CD's games nulled?
At least the ones that they played up against Poseidon. The rest is kind of shaky, I feel like.
Well, that's a big break for Poseidon.
Yeah.
Because they should, that's a game that they probably didn't want to lose if they want to make Starlighter playoffs. Like, you can't be losing games like that. So they get another bite at the apple. That was a pretty good game, too. Like, CD played very well.
Yeah, that was an amazing game. If anybody hasn't watched it yet, it was Monday, the first game of the day. It is actually on my YouTube, and you can see the text. It says "crazy game" at the text, because it was a crazy game.
Duza, right? I think.
Was it not Poseidon CD?
I thought it was Duza CD, but maybe not.
Maybe you're right, actually. Monday, Duza CD. You are right. When was Poseidon first? Oh, that was on Saturday. That was the second. Oh, yeah.
Day one.
Yeah, I remember.
That was the day in which every team beat every previous team.
Yep, I remember day one. It was a fun day.
Yeah.
I look back on it with joy. But we have the last game, Poseidon, Naga Siren for them this time with a Rubik. And we have Abaddon still in the pool. We have also OD and Weaver picked up with a good lineup for Uebelst to pick up a tree, perhaps. So who knows, maybe Poseidon is going to ban out a tree again. Or maybe they're going to ban out Abaddon. We also have the Razor banned out, of course, against Abaddon. And, of course, the Visage and the
OD, yeah.
Lifestealer banned out.
So we do see that Lifestealer ban. I think these bans make sense. Out of all the early Uebelst drafts, this is the one I like the best, just because they had two drafts earlier today that I honestly felt were a little bit on the weak side against what they were facing, but this could work. I like Weaver, I like OD. It definitely pressures Poseidon to ban certain heroes in combination with this. Interesting choice to ban the Tinker. They could have run Weaver in an aggressive try, OD solo safe Tinker mid, or a tri lane around Tinker, which we've been seeing more recently. So that's a possibility.
It definitely is.
It's odd though. I still don't know about the Tinker ban. If this guy were Fata, I'd totally understand, because Fata plays... Or no, I guess Quakewell plays Tinker, Fata plays Tinker. I don't know if Pos plays Tinker.
No, I don't think he does, really. He was a support player, still is a support player in this one. Actually, yeah, he played the jungle hero in the previous game, so he's a bit of a support here. We have a Lich pickup, and this kind of says... well, I'm kind of thinking... We know the First Pro was a team that used Naga Siren as the carry hero still. As one of the few teams that actually still used her as a carry. Right. We also know that they are also one of the teams, or we're also one of the teams that use Lich as a solo offlane hero.
Yeah, Lich can solo. I think I think they're probably gonna run Lich solo. They could still run Naga support or Naga carry, or Naga 3 position is something they did the other day as well.
Yeah.
Very versatile approach to a versatile hero.
Yeah, we'll see what their last two pickups are. That might be giving us a little bit more of an idea about what they're gonna go for. We have Clockwork picked up by Uebelst, so that's, in theory, having 3 lanes sorted. I mean, right now they just need supports if you want to, but it really depends on how they're going to run things. I mean, Clockwork in theory could be a support still, so who knows. We still have a tree in the pool if they want to try and pick it up. Of course, the Dark Tree, as you called him, or Abaddon, is banned out. Smart ban. But we'll see if tree still gets picked up by Uebelst.
It's going to be tricky at this point to take tree, simply because... if it's Tree, Weaver, plus X in the tri-lane, I don't really feel that's actually an especially strong tri-lane.
I'm assuming that Weaver with X is like any hero, right?
What's up?
Do you actually mean X the hero? You said Tree, Weaver, plus X.
Yeah.
X.
No, I meant like X the variable, but okay. Sure, why not? Put an X up there, why not? Aggressive try with axe cutting, and the thing is, living armor isn't going to help the axe early because he's taking too many individual hits.
I know. It was fun. It was a joke.
It is a neat idea, though. Yeah, that's more of a VP thing to do. We can see Poseidon whipping out that axe deck again, but it doesn't really fit into this either.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna, by the way, call you back because you are slightly robotic once again.
All right, sorry about that.
No, that happens. There we go. And we're gonna see what Poseidon's gonna pick up, because they are actually using almost all of their bonus time to think about this one. And they're almost out, 20 seconds left. Gyrocopter it is. There's a lot of carries still in the pool. We still have also, for example, Alchemist in the pool. And it would actually still fit in Poseidon's lineup. Maybe in Uebelst's lineup if they want to run it as support or run Clockwork as support. But we'll see.
They could. I don't really know where Alchemist would fit in, I guess. It could be aggressive try and Alchemist safe and Lich mid or something. Because Alch mid is really miserable against OD. It seems like it should work in theory, but in practice it really doesn't. Gyro mid is actually a little better against OD, but it's still not fun. You take a lot of harassment damage and you need to be pooled regen.
Yeah, we'll see if they go for that. Enchantress. So keeping it close. I mean, supports, there's so many supports left in the pool. Poseidon wants to ban out one. They could still ban out a tree. I don't really like tree anymore if Uebelst actually wants to still go for that. They kind of need a support that can make something more happen. I would actually like a Vengeful Spirit picked up for them, just to see if they can get some roaming going with Enchantress, because as we said, in theory, all three heroes can be solo lanes. And that would allow Enchantress and whoever free to roam and try and get kills.
That's true. I do think that's Venge is an option. There's still a couple of the supports they could go for. We could see the SD again. I like the Keeper of the Light Band from Poseidon, and of course they have Rubik, who is a hero who would be good on Uebelst's side too. So yeah, Venge is definitely one of the better options that they still have available. I agree Tree isn't really going to work here anymore though. They could try it, but if they decide to go with something like Tree, it's tremendously important that they don't get their camps blocked. Like, if Tree can freely stack camps and stuff, they could maybe make it work, but other than that, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, we have a Doom pickup by Poseidon. We've seen Doom earlier today as well. Actually, wasn't Doom the first pickup that we saw of the first game today?
I think so, yeah.
Isn't he the last pickup of the last game we see today? Well, almost the last.
He's not the last pick, sorry.
Damn.
Sorry.
It was so close. It was so funny.
It was close to being poetically doomed.
Yeah.
Bookended by Doom.
Yep, would be fun.
But yeah, we actually did not see him in any of the interim games, so it is true that he was in the first game and the last game of the day.
Very true. I hope that he's going to be able to make something happen here, because this Doom looks like we're going to see some unorthodox lanes. I mean, we already talked about Lich thinking that he might be going on the off lane. I mean, there's so many options for Poseidon right now that I'm afraid to call anything, because they could actually go for anything. Apart from me saying I think Timo Wild will play, or it's not Timo Wild, Airman will play Gyrocopter. I think that's pretty safe bet.
I think Airman will play Gyrocopter as well. I wonder where they could put Doom. I don't know about Doom mid here. It's going to be pretty tough. Simply because his armor is so low and OD hits so hard after he gets a couple of, Astral Imprisonments on you. Now, Scorched Earth is very cheap mana-wise, so you'll probably be able to cast it to get a little bit of extra health regen. But I still feel like it's going to be fairly difficult. Another option is Lich, but Lich is going to really struggle, I feel. Yes, you will be guaranteed able to take away some XP from the Outworld Devourer by utilizing your sacrifice, but you're not going to get last hits, period, really. So that leaves Gyro or Doom. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, Uebelst's taking their time. 30 seconds left. They were the ones, of course, who hadn't used that much of their bonus time just yet. I would still like to see Vengeful Spirit, but they're taking their time. We also, there's still a lot of supports in the pool, like also Rubik or Bane or whatever. There are still so many strong ones there.
Spirit Breaker.
Or Spirit Breaker, that's also one. They are quite, well, low on range, I would say. But we'll see how this works out. I like it, but I don't really know how
they don't have much for stuns.
Yeah.
They really lacked for stuns before this, and Spirit Breaker puts out the most stuns per capita of any year. I was saying TI3 that if LGD ever found out about Spirit Breaker, they would just pick him in every game, because they love to have heroes with stuns. But
who is he going to be able to kill off with charge?
Oh,
You have so many disables also up on Poseidon that if Spirit Breaker charges, and this is a Spirit Breaker that is a support.
Yeah.
It will be tough for him to get some early game aggression going, I think, but we'll see. It's at least, if we compare Uebelst to the first game of today, all late game.
10 seconds remaining.
And Spirit Breaker support, which is early game.
Yeah.
I like
He
it.
does more damage than, I mean, you talked about Venge as a support role, or like a roaming support,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, Spirit Breaker doesn't even have to roam. He tromps, right? And he brings the same amount of stun that the magic missile is going to bring, and does more damage.
True.
He commits you more heavily, like he can die more likely than Venge will, but I don't know. I think it's kind of neat. It offers another target that Doom is going to want to Doom as well, whereas he's never going to Doom Venge. So splitting up the attention of Xi and making him want to do multiple targets and not just Weaver or OD, that's kind of nice. I actually think it's kind of a neat choice.
We'll see. Sky will be playing the Weaver. He is on the side of Uebelst, of course, which is the Germans in this one. Last game of today started our Season 7, Day 5, Game 5. Sky on the Weaver. He will be supported by Alex, who played the Spirit Breaker for this game. We have also got Pass, he will play the Enchantress, who has been either standing in or official member, we don't know, but he's been playing with Uebelst for the entire day. We have Exist going into the mid lane. Had to buy everything himself, didn't get pulled, but we'll see how he does in that mid lane. And I will also see Ede or EDE or Edward playing the Clockwork on the off lane, and I feel like I missed someone, but apparently I cannot count, but that was already 5 players.
Yeah, you got everybody. We are gonna have to. I'm gonna be really intently watching this Clockwork because he really struggled in both of his Nature's Prophet games today. But it could have just been a draft. We'll see if he's able to get more done as Clock. Looking up towards Poseidon, the tri lane up top will be composed of, unless they go for an aggressive tri bot, which they probably still will actually. It's gonna be 8210 Illidan Stormrage on the Gyrocopter, pretty much one of his most well-known heroes. Sakura supporting on the Rubik, JOTM on the Naga Siren. Then Xi will be jungling as Doom, so it will be tri-lane plus jungle, I think. Yeah. And that leaves Taemai Wild as Lich mid. So Lich mid, he has been pooled, unlike OD. Like you noted that OD didn't get any pooling, and Taemai Wild did, so that's a big deal. But Lich is an int hero, so every time this happens, you suddenly have 69 damage on one side and 53 on the other.
On the plus side,
sacrifice.
yeah, and it's only 25 mana, so he should always be having some mana to cast it. And of course
Yeah.
he gets his mana back as well by using that. Wait a second, on the top lane, this Clockwork having a tough time getting blocked already. Rocket Barrage is there as well. Are they able to kill him? Do they have something else? They don't, but they're gonna die for him, and they are successful in that. Sakura takes the first blood, and that's gonna be a 1 kill on the board in favor of Poseidon, and a Clockwork going down. Of course, Clockwork is the offlane hero that doesn't really rotate into jungles very well.
No, he can't at all. I disagree emphatically with him taking Rocket Flare first. This is something you do only if you have a very safe lane to play in as Clockwork. Cogs, he would have straight up lived that fight.
I remember saying yesterday in the game where one hero was greatly outlaning the other, that I kind of wished for the ones that it was behind, like that to have his Chen pick up a Harpy Stormcrafter to win the
Right.
lane for him. We actually have a Harpy Stormcrafter in the mid lane up against Taemai Wild, and he is gonna be annoying.
Certainly not fun for Taemai Wild, but Taemai Wild is doing vastly better in this lane than I initially thought. Like when they picked up Lich, I was like, Lich mid? I can't imagine this working, but it's actually working just fine so far. 6 for 2, he's actually out last hitting Exist.
Yeah, and Doom coming in because he has a Devourer, of course. If he's supposed to be able to get the Harpy, would be nice. Well, Taemai Wild, I mean, one thing that we can't underestimate here is experience, in terms of player experience, because Taemai Wild, I'd say, a lot more experience in taking on the mid role than Exist.
Oh yeah. As Lich, I don't know, but certainly in general.
Yeah, in general. Of course, I mean, you're going up in a lane where you should, in theory, be, as an OD, at least not lose the lane.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to give the impression that I think Lich is a bad mid. He's really not. I know in public matchmaking in like Heroes of New Earth, everybody plays Lich as a mid, but he doesn't reward having items that well. But if you're worried about the person in mid lane just getting way ahead on levels, no matter what, Lich is going to stop that, because sacrifice is pretty much guaranteed.
On top of that, in terms of late game, I mean, he will fall off the map late game in terms of being able to try and maybe carry his team a little bit, but there's a Gyrocopter and a Doom, so they don't really need him late game as anything that's really potent and really strong. They just need him to be doing well, and buy time for Gyrocopter and Doom to be good, and of course shut down OD. That's his main concern in this case.
Yeah, I mean, shutting down OD is not something they're not going to be able to fully shut him down, but even just to prevent him from leveling, really. You can see Temawa is about half a level ahead, and out-harassing the OD, who doesn't have Tranquil Boots. I feel maybe not pooling OD was a mistake, actually.
Well, it could have been the difference between life and death for Exist here, because, I mean, he is indeed out of region at the moment. He has to be careful. I mean, Temawa luckily doesn't have enough mana, rather, for throwing out some more Novas, but... Or Blast, rather. It has to be careful.
Yeah. Exist, for that matter, though, because he has no source of mana regen right now, other than Null Talisman, like, he doesn't have the Tranks to try to proc Essence Aura with. He won't have enough mana to cast Astral Imprisonment for a very, very long time.
You're right. He is sitting on 12 last hits, though, 13 right now, so manages to catch himself even again with Temawa.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna crush OD with anything besides maybe Razor, but
even that is not guaranteed. We have a tower taken down though. Uebelst making sure that they get something in the early game from their off lane, or from their safe lane rather, and the tower taken down by Enchantress, so she gets some extra gold to her name. And actually, they continue pushing. I mean, if nobody comes to defend, why not, right?
Why not? I absolutely think they should push as much as possible. Use that early Enchantress advantage. I can't really see what Poseidon would do to defend this tower. They'll probably just give it away.
Yeah, I like the Enchantress trying to lure the creep wave away, or at least hold it back behind the tower so they can actually take the tier 2 tower down.
Doing a great job of it. This is an easy tower for them.
Yep. Let's see who gets the last hit. Oh, nobody.
Nobody. That's a big loss, but not critical, and they have freed up an entire lane in which they no longer need to worry at all about Weaver just randomly dying out of the blue. Because Lich is not Puck. He's not going to just jump out of the woods and blow up your entire team.
You're right. For a second there, I thought, wow, Lich is not Puck. Are you serious?
More deep insights, yeah, along the lines of they probably shouldn't have taken the tier 1 fight that led to them losing too. Yeah, I'm high level today.
It is the 5th game of the day.
No, I know. No, it's... Don't give me excuses. I'm just super high level.
No, it's normally me that does that kind of stuff, so... the Captain Obvious kind of...
But yeah, the lack of blink, you can go phase on Lich, it's actually pretty good, but his mobility is still not insane.
He has got his level 6 though, with 10 bounces, of course. I mean, you do need people to bounce it around with, and OD is actually pretty good to just wait out until the...
hide in the prison?
Yeah, hide in the prison until the Chain Frost is over. I mean, that's there for Exist if he wants to, but... I don't know, Temawa, for now he is happy with the way things are going, at least trying to shut down Exist as much as possible. I mean, he doesn't really need to go on gank, he just needs to buy time for his Gyrocopter to get big, and Gyrocopter is getting big. He has got most last hits on the map. Of course, he's not getting any towers like Weaver did. So he's slightly behind on net worth, I would assume, for that one. And he indeed is. But he's only like 200 behind or so. And, I mean, there's two towers difference.
There is a 2 tower difference, and also soon, Airman, 8210, he's going to be farming much quicker than Weaver because he's going straight for Helm of the Dominator. And the first time we saw Poseidon, the first 2 games, they were one of... I haven't seen a team that obsessed with stacking creep camps for their carry in a long time.
Oh, let's see if there are some camps there.
Right now there aren't any, but they're going to definitely develop into stacking Ancients. He wouldn't be rushing Helm as quickly as he is if they weren't.
That's another thing for Uebelst. They've kind of opened up that Ancient camp for themselves. Luckily for Poseidon, they don't Uebelst doesn't really have any strong Ancients taker.
Well, if they ward it, it's enough. Like they don't even have to block the camp. If they ward like with vision of the camp and see when Poseidon tried to get it, especially if Uebelst managed to get this tier 1 mid down, it's going to be extremely dangerous, if not impossible, for Poseidon to try to farm the Ancient camp without triggering an instant fight.
Yeah, that Clockwork, by the way, is having a really tough time. He's level 2 still. I mean, the creep wave is coming slightly towards him, but he's... Like, after, of course, dying, he is so careful. He has to be careful. Fair enough.
He does.
He is just having a really tough time being up against this trial lane here. And he is lower level than the supports.
I really do think he'll be higher level if he had taken Cogs first instead of, like, the Flare. But, yeah, damage is done. At this point, there's no other place for him to go, really. So he's just going to try to get the levels he can from here and try to catch up later.
Timo Wild in the meantime, still keeping tabs. I mean, I'm kind of curious to see what he does next. I mean, shutting down OD, fair enough, but what's his next move? We have 27 for 6 on last hits for him with the OD, sitting on 33 for 12, so he is getting slightly ahead of the Lich right now, which is of course nice for him. He's still a lot slower than he normally would be. But, I mean, he's getting the tower gold, of course, as well, which helps him. He's going for a mechanism. He has got the buckler about ready. But yeah, well, he can make it ready right now if he buys just a branch, so that's good. And we have got Pass with his Enchantress trying to make... Oh, we have a charge. We have a charge. Let's see if they can make something happen. TP's coming in. Everybody in Uebelst needs to be here. In comes the Spirit Breaker looking for Sakura. Can they take him down? Call down. Up on 3, and it's gonna be one Rubik going down, but can they actually live through the rest of this? Uebelst in some trouble. Sanity's Eclipse doing what it can. They go for the OD. Ha! The Doom up on him. He's trying to live, trying to take down at least Airman, but it's at least Enchantress that takes out Airman, but they will end up losing 2 for that one. They take down the Naga Siren as well. In comes the Lich ulti, the Chain Frost. And the new charge indeed there, up on the Doom, up on KSI as the Chain Frost bounces around against creeps. In comes Alex with a Frost Blast on his face, and down he goes. That's gonna be a killing spree. 3 for 4. No,
3 for 3, because it was 1-0 Poseidon earlier, yeah.
I actually want to say that's not even that bad for Uebelst, but I mean, you know, they take down a Gyrocopter, that's nice. And the Reaver lives and takes 2 kills. Oh, internet connection apparently to Vykromond.
Yeah, I'm back.
You're back.
I mean, Sky lived through that entire fight. He got himself to almost level 10 and got a couple kills on the board. So I think that's a pretty good fight for Uebelst. Certainly could have gone much worse for Poseidon than it did. Could have gone better too, like Chain Frost, very unlucky bounces.
Yeah, I went into the creep wave and then basically lost. Still done a little bit of damage, and of course slow down the Spirit Breaker, which was kind of nice.
I'm sure they really wish they had Spirit Breaker ult for that as well.
Yeah, they probably did. They did save their tower for a little while longer, which is great. And of course, I mean, like I said, they killed the Gyrocopter, which is a pretty big win. But Gyrocopter was still present for most of the kills that happened there, and of course got some experience from that as well. But he did not
Exist
get
died
any
first,
of
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. OD or Spirit Breaker, whatever. Gyrocopter did not get any of the kills. That's what I was saying.
Right. Yeah. True. I mean, OD is farming okay. It's obviously not the dominant OD game that you get sometimes, because Lich did extremely well in the mid. Is expected, it's still dead even. But this does mean that OD is still doing okay. Like, he has 1 death, but 2 assists. He's got Tranquils. He's got most of mech.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Could have been worse. Could have been better, of course, if Timo wasn't there with his Lich. But hey, they got it.
Radiant's top tower has
It was Uebelst to lead the first charge, literally. And it's, I think, on them to continue with the aggression and trying to slow down the farm of the Gyrocopter, to slow down the farm of the Doom, who is actually, has picked up an energy booster and has got 2k gold. Which is kind of interesting, because if he wanted mana boots, he could have picked them up. What is he buying? Like, he could, I mean, okay, I guess he got energy booster to disassemble his boots and then...
Yeah, it's the boot, the boot dance. It's actually, I meant to comment on this before the fight broke out, but yeah, it's actually really good because Doom has mana issues, but Tranks is much better for jungling in general.
Got in the middle lane a song going on. It was Alex that leaded the charge. In comes Airman, goes for Alex. There's a Chain Frost helping out as well. Alex already dead. Can they find more is the question. I don't think they can. Slightly overkill for Alex alone, but... with all 5 heroes here of Poseidon, we might not take down a tier 1 tower mid.
Right. And they really can't do much about this. Clockwork, I don't think is 6 yet. Yes. Oh, he just hit 6, so that's something.
Yay.
I've been criticizing ED a bit today, but I do like his build here. I like the fact that he's going the Force Staff quickly. Not even getting tier 2 boots, just going straight for Force. When you're this behind on Rubik, Bullman Ink on Lich, by the way, but I don't think he's going to call it off eventually.
Yeah, he's just going to use it to get to the mid lane fast, I think.
The thing about Force Staff on Clock here is if you're so far behind that you're going to guaranteed die inside of your own cogs.
Alex?
Really?
What you doing there, buddy? Whoa!
That's a little late.
Yeah, because in comes the Blinking Doom. 1 bash and a Nether Strike, that's kind of helping out, but I mean, he is just caught out. In comes his team, the cavalry comes in, they want to take down KSI. He does have a Doom though, gets hookshot, get killed off before he can throw it out, and that means that at least they get something off that, and in the end, actually, working out, and he charges again, goes for Tame Wild again. Sky forced to dive with him, in comes a call down, And snare upon Alex, holding position for now, will end up going down if he's not careful. Will be sent on his way indeed with a hit from Lich, who he started charging off to begin with, and that's gonna be a kill for Tamar Wild, and the rest of Uebelst backing off. So it's a disconnect also for the Doom, which is kind of sad, but it is a 1-for-1 trade. I guess 50-50 for Alex.
No, it's favorable overall for Uebelst. Very weird fight. I mean, Doom tried to Doom twice. First time Shukachi landed just before, and second time he got hookshot. Very nicely played by Clockwork there to get that hookshot, make sure that Doom wasn't able to Doom. So that's a favorable fight for Uebelst. Again, it is funny because we're kind of seeing them address the previous game in each subsequent game.
Yeah.
Like, first game, their problem was... What the hell was their problem with the first game?
They were having no presence in the early game with a Nature's Prophet and a Phantom Lancer, and what else did they have?
That was kind of their problem second game too.
Yeah, but they had a little bit more there.
Yeah, they had, like, the first game they had, like, no route to victory. So they were like, okay, second game we'll pick, like, a carry, we'll have, like, split push, all that good stuff. But then they just got dominated early. So this game they're like, well, we shan't get we shan't not be aggressive early again. We're going to take Spirit Breaker and Enchantress and all these early game dominance heroes. Is it enough to win? I'm uncertain. I am intrigued by Tamar Wild's Midas Lich, and he may be riding high off of the last game.
I wouldn't blame him because it was a pretty funky game, but I mean, he hasn't died yet. A farmed Lich could actually do quite a lot, especially if you know that your opponent team are just trying to fight and not really taking the time to farm all that much. I mean, OD is still trying to find his mechanism. Weaver was forced to dive, of course, earlier on, and therefore has his Lincoln slightly delayed. I mean, this Weaver has had free farm and has taken 2 towers early on in the game. Has not died yet and is still behind the Gyrocopter on farm.
Right.
Well,
very difficult to keep up with Helm of the Dominator rushing Gyro on farm though, but yeah.
Yeah, true. But Gyrocopter has got less kills, like on last hits at least, and
for sure.
And a tower less. So I was kind of thinking maybe Weaver can get ahead, but apparently not the case, as we have a smoke off for Poseidon.
Yeah, and Lincoln's is done for Weaver, so that's good. And Force Staff, which is critical to actually keep Clockwork alive in fights, is also done. So again, I like this Force pickup. I think it's smart for ED, who is simply not going to be able to survive, to try to just get away.
Yeah, we're
going to see if he can do it right now.
Yeah. Telekinesis first, in comes the Chain Frost. Force Staff away! Is it enough? He tries to run the cogs, the flat cannon is not enough.
There you go.
It's enough to get away. The Force Staff paying off straight away, saving the life of the Clockwork. However, we might have some pressure on the tier 2, although the 2 heroes of Poseidon do back off, only leaving the Rubik here. With the Naga Siren now also back, and Gyrocopter.
2.5 minutes, no Chain Frost. That's really nice too.
Yep. Of course, a very long cooldown still at level 1. He is close to level 2 as well for it. He's close to level 11.
It's one of those abilities that starts really long and then drastically gets reduced. Kind of like Finger of Death, although Finger of Death is even more so.
Yeah. And because of the Hand of Midas now also OD, 800 gold behind on Tamar Wild in terms of net worth. It's pretty insane. I mean, we had got OD at some point actually getting some more farm than the Lich, but because Lich hasn't died yet and exists, of course, in that fight in the top lane did die as one of the earlier kills that happened. He is just he is behind right now. But it's not something that you see every day. I guess today kind of really delivers in terms of what you don't see every day.
Sure, definitely a lot of experimentation, which is, I think, it's a good time to do it early in the Starladder season. It's not entirely clear how these new heroes are going to shake out, what the new meta is going to be. There's TI3 featured a lot of experimental picks as well, and there were certainly heroes, like Doom in particular, that were good there, but still weren't used that much, so I'm not surprised to see these heroes in more currency.
If the Lincoln's ready up on the Weaver, now it's time for him to build some damage items so that he can actually participate in the fights. Because we have got Alex being fairly quiet. I mean, I'm kind of thinking, like, doesn't he want to charge something?
Well, it's pretty dangerous to charge a lot of Poseidon's heroes.
I don't think, like, he didn't care for that in the previous dive.
That's an excellent point. And in fact, he is charging right now on JOTM, who, does he have Song? He does. This might be a little tricky.
Yeah, he cancels it.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think Sky got the memo, though. He's actually able to get the kill.
Wow.
Well,
he probably should have songed quite early, because otherwise the bug would just kill him, but still, interesting. Yeah. Nice kill. That's a very important kill for Sky to just get all the gold to himself. He's 4-0-1. He finishes his treads off of that.
And look at the
it's
level
nice.
at the end of that. He's level 13, highest level on the map, 2 levels higher than the gyrocopter. So not only all the gold for himself, but also all the experience, of course, making a big difference.
It's definitely good. And Enchantress going straight, Poss is going straight for Aghanims. That'll give them a critical alternate source of damage to quickly burn through Poseidon.
Yep. We have got Trez now also up on the Weaver. Indeed, gaining some more momentum perhaps here for Uebelst. Uebelst, who is still only 10 or only 1k gold behind on Poseidon. Experience graph is dead 0, but that might change soon. Gyrocopter with a BKB was definitely maybe a starting for Poseidon to be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, they almost got the mechanism up on the Doom. Well, I say almost, they actually still need quite a bit. But when that's up, perhaps we're gonna see them trying to fight a little bit more. I mean, they have everything then. I think all their core items up. Can start.
Yeah, I think that they are honestly, Poseidon are in good shape because the BKB on Gyro came out without too much interference. He's going to start going towards big damage items. Enchantress, even if she has Aghanim Scepter, while Gyro is BKB'd, she can't do very much damage to him at all, while he's throwing tremendous amount of damage onto her team. So, I mean, BKB is good against OD, it's good against Ench, it's just a very strong item and gives Illidan a lot of stability from which to, you know, get his next items.
Talking about items, 4 staff for Lich. Then his inventory 4 staff done, of course, before that of the OD, because OD went for the mechanism first. But still pretty nice timing, considering he also went for the Handamitis. Still 3rd highest on net worth for his team, as we have a charge up on the Gyrocopter, who's getting ganked here also by Sky. Turns on his BKB, though, in comes another strike, but I think you better run. His bug is already left, but telekinesis there, Alex will go down for that one. And when I say his bug, I of course mean the Weaver that just TP'd towards the top lane to continue farming there.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, losing Alex, it's definitely not fun. The Spiritbreaker has struggled, other than that one time, to really generate a lot of opportunities for his team. Most of them, other than Weaver, really lack his mobility. If Clockwork was leveled much better, they'd have a vastly easier time with just getting kills with the Spiritbreaker. But because Clock had difficulty early, it's really just Alex when he does that, like, being solo more.
Yeah. We have got the mechanism complete now up on the Doom, who disassembled his tranks for that and got himself some mana boosts. 1600 gold already up on the Gyrocopter. I think he's looking pretty fat. He's still highest on net worth, no surprise there. And it's still Poseidon that is running the show right here, but it's still Uebelst that should be, whoa, Ook shot in and charge up on Sakura as well, but in comes the Chain Frost and it's bouncing around illusions. And 4 staff away again, saving Eid. But no go, because Uebelst is the one that is supposed to be making things happen, and actually maybe they can. Sky coming in, goes for Sakura. Shakushi chasing him down, not even needed. A Gemini attack gets him. That's going to be a 2nd kill perhaps. No, in comes a Song. Medved trying to help out as a tower, which is almost in the deny range, by the way, is trying to help out maybe a little bit here. So perhaps Uebelst at least gets the tower out of this. Next to the Rubik kill. There they go. Weaver with last hit. Astral Imprisonment.
Actually, this is really bad for Poseidon.
Yeah, in comes KSI. He looks for the Doom, finds it up on Exist as well. Is at least able to do something, but takes a lot of damage. Will end up getting picked off. Maybe Gyro can make this turn around. The Colon already used the Flak Cannon, trying to do what he can. Lich still goes down on his team though, and it's Alex the one that maybe comes close to dying here as the Ensnare hits him, and they should be able to kill him off, so at least they get 1 kill out of this, but they lost a tier 1 tower and 2 kills, and maybe even more because Sky is not done with them. Goes for the Naga Siren, knows everything.
He wants Illidan.
Yeah, Naga will go down to his teammates, and Sky is just still on the chase. It comes out, shot in, nicely done. That's gonna be a team wipe on the side of Poseidon. Of course, Rubik the first one to die, and only Alex being sacrificed. But that's the greater good that he did that for, and that's gonna be Uebelst gaining some momentum in this game.
That was fantastic play from everybody on Uebelst. I mean, really good hook at the end there to secure the kill on Illidan. Maybe could have happened even without it, but it made it much, much, much safer because there wouldn't be TPs. Poseidon's problem there was just splitting up all their good stuff. Like, they used Chain Frost extremely early, and then, like, a minute later, Xi came in and doomed, which is another good ability, and then even later than that, Illidan arrived at the fight, threw Call Down, and started Flak Cannoning. Now, when he did that, it did a tremendous amount of damage, but then, you know, his BKB runs out, and all of a sudden, like, I don't know, I feel that they prosecuted the fight way past where their team composition could handle it, given how it, like, went. So, like, when you already don't have Chain Frost, and it feels like you're short 1 Chain Frost to win, that's a fight that you probably shouldn't still be taking, right? And, like, when you're Gyro, his BKB isn't up, and his Flak Cannon isn't up, and he needs to kill 3 people. Like, you have to leave a little earlier.
I think we should also not forget the nice cogs that E did to just split up Poseidon even more than they already did by themselves. Those cogs just made sure that a Lich set on the other side, well, they could take down Doom without really that much interference. And I mean, they don't only take the tier 1 mid, but they also take the tier 1 top. That was a fight that Uebelst desperately needed, and look at that gold graph. Goes back towards the 2k, but I think experience graph is going to be a little bit more clear on that one. Went from 0, so basically no difference whatsoever, to about 3.5k in favor of Uebelst. I mean, it's still only one team fight away going in with favor of Poseidon to everything drops back again, but they need these kind of fights to keep themselves in the game, because later on in the game I feel like Poseidon does have the upper hand. Oh, charge. Gyro.
Yeah, I think this is probably a kill, I think. He's at least going to have to use BKB, and even that, they could try to catch them. Yeah, he uses BKB.
Yeah, that's all they wanted out of him. They back off. And look at the rotation. Everybody already TP's in as well. 5 heroes, they smoke up, they want to make something out of this rotation, but they can't do it anymore. Everybody's so fast up on Uebelst.
Yeah, especially, I mean, Spirit Breaker and Weaver are certainly extremely speedy characters.
Yep.
Are they really want to turn it around? I don't think they can.
They have smoked behind the players, so Tamer Wild maybe was ruining it. Yeah, there goes the central ward, but it's too far away.
Yeah, a little bit too far, but that was a scary moment for Sky, definitely. He's gonna have to run away quickly from that. He's had a great game, 6-0-3, on the way to MKB, or, I mean, I guess Daedalus if he wants it, but I think it's MKB is more likely.
Yeah, I agree. This Weaver is pretty fat.
This is important because Weaver has to be able to kill Gyrocopter quickly, so that Gyrocopter doesn't do 2 flaks in a fight. Even 1 flak is going to be very tough for them to deal with.
In the meantime, Exist also having a bit more importance in this game. Picked himself up in an Ultimate Orb, so probably still going for the side of the Vice. I would like to see maybe the Mystic Staff as a first item, but perhaps he was just scared that he was going to die and picked it up anyway, which might be a valid reason, actually.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tame My Wild, the Midas, no real surprise, it seems he's going for the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
So 10 bounces on heroes and they win a fight. 10 bounces on creeps,
Yeah. It's a bit of wasted gold right there then.
It doesn't insta-kill creeps, right? It does not.
It does not, no. Well, maybe if it has an Aghanims, it might actually do that.
No, well, just because of damage? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Some of them it will, some of them it won't.
The range creep will, for sure. Well, let's see if Uebelst can at least try to slow down that Aghanims. I mean, they have been fighting, so far so good. All tier 1 towers are down, just need 2 tier 2 towers left to take down on the side of Poseidon. So far, they only have lost 1 tier 1 tower on that top lane.
Yep.
And taking that
Actually,
into account,
Uebelst...
looking at the gold graph, by the way, it's not really looking that spectacular for Uebelst.
Yeah, but honestly, I think they're in pretty good shape simply because the Weaver MKB timing is tracking the Gyro butterfly timing really, really well. I actually think Weaver will finish MKB before Gyro has his butterfly done. And that's a big deal because Weaver has a tremendous amount of their auto attack damage. Now Enchantress will have trouble hitting Gyro, but still.
This guy trying to hide here. Do they want to try and go on him? Still waiting for the charge perhaps from Spirit Breaker, but so far...
It's too bold.
Yeah, and look at the rotation already. We have already a lot of people hiding behind
yeah,
the Gyro.
If Doom hits Doom...
Oh, they know that he's still there. They want to try and take him. They want to doom him and kill him off. Time lapse away. Can he run? The Lincoln's pop. Telekinesis on a doom on the kill. That's gonna be Poseidon happy with their rotation for once.
Tried to get way too clever with that.
Yeah. Bit too cocky there. Way too
Unquestionably. You have Lincolns, which sure it'll block a doom, but not if Gyro pushes his W button at any time.
Which he did, and it was on time.
Yeah. You did.
And it wasn't just the Doom, but also the Ensnare, the Telekinesis, just everything. They really wanted him dead, and wisely so.
That's a critical kill, actually. I don't think Weaver should have been playing that aggressively, because now they're going to go straight for Roshan, and the dilemma here is very acute for Weaver. Do you buy back, setting your MKB vastly behind Gyro's Butterfly, or do you let Gyro have Aegis?
Decision that could make
the right
or break
answer is
the game.
probably Aegis, like let them have the Aegis, but it's rough.
They're gonna try and let him have it and then not fight for 6 minutes, I would say. At least not 5-on-5 fight, because that Gyrocopter is still hitting pretty hard. In comes a charge though, actually. Naga Siren getting charged at the moment. But it gets cancelled right before he reaches the pit.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't think it's feasible. Clockwork can steal, that's the main thing.
Nice steal on Rubik, by the way. Time lapse.
Yeah. Is Clockwork gonna go for it? He will.
And comes the hook shot. There comes one stun. The stun comes in. It's ages for the gyrocopter. And Clockwork stuck on the high ground.
Yeah, he tried. It was a neat attempt, but it was very close, frankly.
They're gonna try and fight this. Cooldown, actually, gonna get wasted.
Well, sure, cooldown.
At least he didn't put on his BKB, I guess, for his sake. I mean, he has an Aegis, so of course he wouldn't, but it would still be a nice win for Uebelst if he did. Still,
Yeah.
it's a 7-second BKB. It's not that big.
In the end, yeah, in the end, I think Uebelst played that correctly. Now, if Weaver is up, everything is just completely different in that situation.
And they might try and at least take a tier 2 tower on top of that. I mean, Sky is already hitting on that on the creep wave there. And he has got some support
he wants
around
the tower.
him.
Top
Get it.
tower is under attack.
They were out actually TPing in to defend it, so that means no tower down today.
I like their wards.
On Poseidon.
Both of them, honestly. Poseidon, actually, I don't like their wards at all. I mean, they put a bunch to guarantee Roshan,
Yeah.
which makes perfect sense, but now post-Roshan, these wards are not tremendously useful. Whereas Uebelst's wards are exactly in the danger zone where they want to send Spearbreaker in and just win fights.
Yeah, all in the dire jungle and on the high ground next to the Roche pit. Where they, of course, had perfect vision of Poseidon when they escaped from the Roche.
Yeah,
In comes
it
the
also...
butterfly, by the way.
Yeah, that's the thing with that Weaver death and with the Roche. Now Butterfly is up and Weaver is still about 300 off from MKB.
Yeah. We'll see. Tower tier 1 looks like it's going down because Poseidon, I mean, they know that they can probably win the fight if it gets to that. Nice deny coming in from Pass. Nicely done.
That's really good. Any gold you can keep off of Gyro is so important. And Pass is extremely close to his Force Staff. And the more Force Staffs they can get, the better, actually. If they can, like, get most everybody away from Illidan's Flak Cannon and then fight after it ends, that's so much AoE damage that they don't have to deal with.
Yeah, by the way, I just have to point out, like, we've seen that, like, this is the 3rd game that we see from Uebelst today. And this is the most comfortable I've seen them play so far.
This is better than both
It's better
previous
than both
games
games. They
combined.
actually seem to have, like, a bit of a hand in what's going on at the moment rather than just taking what's coming from the enemy. So, kudos
Agree.
to them regardless of how things end up, but they're definitely learning on the job here.
For sure, for sure. And I like to see that from a team.
Yeah.
I think Uebelst, the core has been around. I mean, the team has been around for a while. They do have a lot of different possible lineups, but I think it's good to have sort of a team like this in the scene. Exact has taken a really, really long time to actually, exist, to make his sheep stick, but I think it's almost up. Yeah, it's 400 off.
Yeah, it's close by, but yeah. It's,
It took forever, though.
Yeah,
Lich
I mean, it's
is
30 minutes into the
on his
game, and
heels.
he didn't, I mean, we talked about it, he didn't even lose his bottom lane all too much, or middle lane, rather. I mean, he was up against Team of Wild, yes, he got denied quite a bit of creeps, but he wasn't doing too bad.
No. He lost XP, but he didn't lose the lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a MKB now also up on the Weaver, as said. No surprise there. We'll be in time for the next fight up against the Gyrocopter. And the charge up on the top lane. Alex, what are you doing? Where are you going? I think he's just gonna be trying to make it to the shop or something. Or make it to high ground for warding. Thank you. Kinda worried for him there. He has got 3 wards in inventory, so that would be a good reason for him to do that. We've got Blade Mill up on Eid as well. Eid has been really stepping it up since he died, of course, for the first blood. He's been playing it safe. And despite him being behind for a long time on the top lane, he's been getting back into this game for sure. And he's been having a fairly decent impact there as well. As we have an Aghanim's ready up on Enchantress and the Scythe of Ice ready up on the OD now as well. Uebelst is starting to be ready on their core items. Maybe ready to throw another punch when that Aegis disappears. Maybe the moment the Aegis disappears, but it's going to be still 2 minutes away from now. But they pick up the smoke. That's a start. And it looks like I've lost Vykromond again. As we are
Only temporarily.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I always come back.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I think this game is really interesting. It's probably the most even one we've had today.
Yeah.
We had another pretty good one recently. The one with the Bloodseeker was good too. But this game is really, really close. I think either team could take it out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be still mostly a question of how can Sky handle Illidan Stormrage, if at all. Can they kill this Gyrocopter? If Gyro wins another big team fight, he might just leap too far ahead for them to deal with. But if they can sort of trade evenly and continue killing the gyro, I think they'll maintain a decent position.
Yeah, I like how you say like the one with the Bloodseeker was also decent. Because that's not something that you normally hear. Whoa, Sky realized he's way in over his head. They don't really realize he's there though, so he's able to TP out. But we have
much
got tier
safer
1.
than last time.
I mean, the tier 1 still standing at this moment, 30 minutes into the game. It's quite impressive. So they'll just take it for free gold. Regardless, they're not going to try to defend it. I don't blame it. Maybe they're going to be able to take finally the tier 2 tower on the top lane though.
I think that's certainly what they want to do. Now, this might be a trade, tier 2 for tier 2, because VP right now pushes, Poseidon pushes faster.
That would mean 2 towers for 1. Not sure if that actually is worth it, especially not since the gyrocopter is getting fed off it. I mean, he is already taken the last hit of the previous tower. He's got 3,200 gold. And you're just talking about one fight that could change it all around. If the gyrocopter wins one big fight, then it might actually be over for Uebelst, but I mean, if he's gonna get more rich by
Didn't
just
even
free
get the
gold.
tower.
Lich got the tower in the end, and the tier 2 indeed still stands. So that's actually a lot of wasted time for Uebelst, and you know, free gold in the hands of Poseidon. I think they're gonna be very happy with that. Oh, at least Sky is able to take the tier 2 mid.
Yeah, they did trade that, so the net worth difference between Gyro and Weaver has not grown that much there.
Yeah.
I think it actually probably is Daedalus time for Weaver.
Yeah,
now the second the Geminate can't crit, but it's still a like if you math it out, it's still really good damage.
Yeah, perhaps he wants to go for BKB, depending on how safe he feels. I mean, if their Sentry Ward is dropped and he tries to, of course, move around a fight, I mean, you have got yourself...
Is this gonna work? This bait that they're doing?
Tower still goes down, well that's nice enough, even if it doesn't work.
I don't know, it seems like everybody wants to bait, but Sky isn't sure if he actually wants his team to do that.
Well, the flares are there, giving some vision here. So they know that they are actually there. Weaver.
Oh, this is so awkward. Yeah, alright, they didn't decide to do it after all. It really seemed like they were doing that, like, one... they try to get people to dive on Sky and everybody comes in on the back, but they just didn't like their positioning enough to do it.
Yep. There you go. I like the Kobold as the creep for Enchantress. Especially if you're gonna go for an initiation like this, movement speed, getting in there fast, or getting out of there fast is very important.
For sure.
So we also have Enchantress's Mask of Madness. It's actually a legit pickup for her, I like it. That extra attack speed with that impetus if you're at the furthest range, I mean that's just insane. And able to chase people down, of course. Very important as well, especially if you're up against fast heroes, like a Doom in this case.
Right, and it's also about, Gyro is not going to be an easy target to kill. You need every absolute ounce of damage you can throw at him, especially now that Satanic is in the mix. So, Aghanim Scepter on plus Madness on Enchantress. Sure, she has a high probability of dying in the fight, but if she can trade for half a Gyro and all of a Doom, that's well worth it.
I fully agree.
And Doom is pretty close to... Actually, is done with Cuirass. So, your physical damage coming from Weaver will no longer be as acute. It'll be reduced. So the pure damage from the Impetus will be very useful to kill this Doom.
Yeah, with Naga Siren's illusions, by the way, or just Naga Siren on herself. She has a Gem of True Sight, picked up by herself just a moment ago, so... That means that the map control for Uebelst is going to be greatly diminished. I mean, we already don't see any wards up for them on the map. And we talked about that earlier when they had brilliant wards up to allow maybe Spearbreaker to try and charge in and get themselves some kills or something like that. Actually, they have got one ward just placed again. They don't have that anymore apart from that one ward that they just placed, and that's holding them down quite a bit. And of course, Roshan Pit dewarding there is going to be very important. Only 1.5 minutes before Roshan is up again, and that might be a game changer for either team to get it. So they probably will want to fight for it.
I think they'll want to fight for it, but other than that, I think Uebelst is perfectly happy to let this game run. I actually would say that Poseidon are acting with less urgency than I would expect them to. Lich, after Aghanim Scepter, is really not going to carry this that much. And I fear, or if I were Poseidon, I would fear OD getting Refresher and just blowing my team up. Because Illidan's BKB is down to 7 seconds. It's going to keep ticking down. Once your BKB is at like 5 seconds, OD will almost always be able to wait it out, put himself in a prison, and then double ult you. And that will kill the team. The team will just be gone.
Yeah. Upside is for Poseidon is that OD is not really getting that much farm.
Well, he's got 3.1k though.
Yeah, true.
Like, that's more than half a Refresher.
Let's see if he goes for it. Or if he wants to
There's
stay.
other options, but in my opinion, Refresher is by far the best item here because it's the one that actually can just straight up win you the game.
True. I wouldn't be surprised by BKB either, though. But he is gonna get doomed, I think, regardless.
I would not go for BKB, honestly, on this OD. I mean, the only real danger is the Chain Frost.
And the cooldown with the slow. I don't know.
Call down. The slow is still going to hit you.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Well,
so the BKB won't stop it, it just stops the damage, and careful positioning stops the damage too, so I don't know, I think BKB would be a mistake. I can justify it, like it's good, but this game has gotten to the point, like at 38 minutes, where one fight can just be so titanically important, and I think Refresher gives you a better chance of winning that fight. Bigger problem, Roche is about to be snuck.
Yeah, they realize it though. I mean, there's Flare was already there, they know he's in there, and they want to try and probably sneak it. We have KZXE already sitting up in the high ground, ready to blink in and start a fight. And they have complete vision of everything that Uebelst does. So, yeah, they're gonna go in. Hookshot already up on Tame About. In comes a cooldown. Only hits Alex for a little bit. Xi also able to get the kill in the end with a Doom up on the OD. Not able to make anything happen. In comes a Song, stopping Eid and Sky in their tracks. And that should reward them for some kills. 5 versus 2. Not a fairly even fight. Looks like Sky tries to get himself away. Eid probably won't be so lucky. TP up for Enchantress looks to be successful. And a Lich Ultimate Chain Frost. Still Sky in this. And why did he come back? Time-lapse himself away. He runs for it. There is a gem up on the Naga Siren still, though. He tries to TP himself out. It looks like he will be successful. And they're just gonna get Roshan. I mean, only 1 kill in the end. Even the Clockwork was able to survive, which is quite impressive. Was able to hookshot himself towards the quick wave. It's quite impressive considering how the fight went, but of course, I mean, they just still take him at Poseidon. No surprise there.
Yes, the Aegis is very important. It puts Poseidon on extremely firm footing. Gyrocopter now has 4k gold as a result of living through that and getting the Aegis. He can get another damage item up. That's extremely scary if you're Uebelst, because Alex was able to cast 0 spells in that last fight.
Yeah, he is gonna start charging someone, by the way. It's on the top lane. Tim Awad, I'm thinking he is not gonna continue going on with it though, but he's also doesn't have ward, so.
Ooh, fancy. He's gonna go. I suspect he's just gonna make the Ethereal Blade on this Lich, and that's kind of neat, actually.
Oh, he's already close by. He just needs about 600 gold, and he has it.
Oh, Alex, don't get caught out here.
I think
this
he's
is
gonna
dangerous.
get cut out. They know now he's around the corner.
He's got 8 seconds for his charge, so he can get out.
Their smoke
maybe.
is
Okay.
off.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
He needs his halberd, which is what he's going for with this Sange. It's going to be very important to halberd Gyro after the BKB ends, which is, again, 6 seconds. So this BKB is almost at the point where you just, you know, you wait it out and then you dominate that person. So halberd is going to be very important for that.
We've got a Weaver in the meantime going for a heart. I mean, the damage is there, it's just the survivability. He's not able to stay alive. It is,
I like heart.
is indeed done. Yeah, I like it a lot too. So it's a good item indeed. It's 10 to 10 by the way in the kill score. I don't think it feels that even anymore, even though both teams can still win. But look at the graphs. I mean, 1,000 gold in favor of Poseidon, experience graph in favor of Uebelst, but really the difference is minimal. I would say still at the moment I still favor Poseidon though, just because, I mean, not even only because of the ages, but just because of the dominance they've been showing in fights in terms of.
I would say the Gyrocopter is certainly a bigger threat than anything anybody else is packing.
Yeah.
Weaver is not nearly as scary as this Gyro is, and that is going to be true for a while. Even after the Aegis expires or is taken down, that will still be true. That said, in a 65-70 minute game, I think Uebelst can win, definitely, because I do feel that OD Weaver is going to be a good trump card eventually.
Yeah.
They might not get that far, though. Like, it's very possible that during this period, when Gyro is much scarier than basically the two of them, Poseidon could win.
OD Weaver up against Doom Gyro. I would still put it in favor up on the OD Gyro purely because of the Gyro. Not even specifically catered towards the Doom. But we'll see if that is true later on as well. Especially once you said, I mean, those BKBs are going to be lower duration again. And OD will be able to just throw out a hell of a punch. He's sitting on 5,100 gold, by the way. Still not having bought anything to show us what he's actually going for. Even though right now the courier is at the secret shop. And is already away from the secret shop. That's the hard complete for the Weaver. So still don't know what this OD is going to go for. If it is indeed a refresher or if it's something else.
Yeah, he hasn't decided. He has 5.2k, so Refresher only costs 100 more. I'm pulling for Refresher, I'm not going to lie. I think it's far better than any of the other options. However, no, I still say Refresher.
We'll see soon, though. We'll see soon. As you said, only about 100 gold. He might want to have it before the next fight starts, which might start soon, because the agent is going to disappear in about 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes or so. And Poseidon probably wants to push it to you, so at least if they get no fight, they might at least get some tier 2 towers.
Yeah, it is awkward because Weaver's a little off buyback, and OD is in a trap. Like, he has buyback, but not the ability.
They're gonna go in though. Nice aggressive force stop. The charge was there, but the BKB gets turned on. They force it out. Now it's down to only 5 seconds.
Yeah.
For the fight on the towers, I mean, BKB on cooldown, is it enough to stop Poseidon from going in?
It is, I think. Because he can no longer Aegis come back up and BKB afterwards, right? Mm-hmm. So that could be just 2 straight up deaths.
They back off. No, well, I would say success for Uebelst. I mean, losing a tier 2 tower was already expected, I'd say, but yeah, that's a good one. Now the fight, the gold is complete for Exist. The gold for Refresher is up. If he wants to save for buyback afterwards as well, then we might see him continuing farming for a little while longer, though. And maybe he wants a Sheeva's Guard or something like that to give his team a little bit more of a punch or more of a survivability, extra armor. Could be an option.
Sure. It could be. Damage would also be a good option. Sheeva's Guard is a solid idea. The cool thing about Sheeva's Guard is it's got a bunch of intelligence on it, which is actually relevant when you're getting hit by Alex. The Bullman has been penned!
Yep. And TP's himself out. They saw him charging. They've got this ward up the high ground very neatly placed, so they were able to get
Sure, but he could have cancelled it, like... Well, I guess he didn't want to be here because it's very dangerous. He can get caught out.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I still think Uebelst can take this. I think Gyro is definitely a major threat, but he doesn't have Aegis pretty soon. So just wait until that's done, and then do your best with this Weaver, who now will have buyback for the next fight. And OD, I would still buy out, but I understand why he's holding buyback.
Yeah, it's by the way. I mean, just wait until the BKB is done, and then hex him and kill him off. I think that's a pretty solid plan. The only thing they have to worry about is the Doom still. Every time it's up against Exist.
Yeah,
and that's
very smart.
Yeah, no more Scythe of Ice.
Right.
You're done for.
No more. I mean, no Send his Eclipse unless he can get it off before the Doom.
Mm-hmm.
For that reason alone, it's possible he makes Lincolns, although
Sure.
Again, it's low impact.
We'll see how much he hates dealing with.
Alright, so the Aegis is down, so 4 minutes until next Roche. Again, I feel that Uebelst just has no incentive to end the game here, because it would be great, for instance, to get Spirit Breaker a couple more items, like at the very least his Halberd.
Yeah, the Halberd is a long time coming. Actually, he's been building that for a while.
I mean, it's 4 position. Yeah.
Yeah, look at Alex, by the way. Zeros. Like this, it's 10 to 10, right? 10 to 10 on the kill score. 6 of the kills of Poseidon are on Spirit Breaker.
Yeah. He has been made into hamburgers frequently in this game.
It's kind of sad.
It is, but you know, that's the when you play a hype hero like this, you have to. The dark side of hype is that sometimes you just die.
Yeah, I guess he pays the price. The trades have been decent, though. I mean, we have had good trades for him for sure. He's been traded for 4 heroes before. He's been traded for saving a team fight before, as in.
Oh yeah.
Backing out, and he was the only one to die. That's fair enough.
It's gonna be unless OD decides Orchid, which I would be mad at him. No, actually, Orchid is a fine choice, but I think this is the Refresher.
Well, we'll see. In the meantime, everybody just is happily farming, at least for another 3 minutes until Roshan is up once again.
I feel that Uebelst are kind of getting more right now out of this delay, but Poseidon are still doing very well. They're building up Kasi. He is, as you said, going your guard, so he's going to have that pretty soon. And I don't know. I think they're definitely making progress.
I didn't have buyback. Good for him. So
now it's time for Aghanims.
Perhaps, or still Lincoln.
No, I'm kidding. There's no Aghs upgrade, I think. Or I mean, there is, but it's awful that upgrade.
Yeah, still would see Lincoln's maybe. At some point, Sheeva's guard.
Yeah, Lincoln's is not a bad idea. Actually, you're right.
I mean, with all that armor up on Poseidon, they might want to have some armor of their own. Like have their own.
Yeah.
Cuirass.
You're right. They don't have cuirass. It would have to be Spirit Breaker building it, and Halberd is more important.
Yeah, and he almost has it, by the way. 100 gold to go.
He does. He's close. Honestly, all of their heroes have are close to thresholds for good items. I don't think Aghs is tremendously meaningful for Clockwork, but it's a nice to have. I don't know if it's actually the best item for him though. Yeah, maybe some armor would be nice.
Especially with the gyrocopter hitting hard, very hard. He's actually got a 4,400 gold again.
Alex, no. Space Cow. I'm so scared.
Space Cow has got TP scrolls.
Oh, now I'm really scared.
Wow, they saw him. They saw him. They saw him. Alex TP. No.
Get the hell out of there!
Why is he still there? Why is he
No,
not TPing? He's
Space
waiting
Cow.
for that 5 extra gold. Don't wait for that 5 extra gold. For 2 gold. Buy it. TP out. Why is he? Oh my god, they think he TP'd out.
That's so epic. This is nothing is happening, and yet it's the most epic moment all game.
Nothing happened indeed. I mean, oh wow. That could have been such a loss. If he got killed off before having his Heaven's Halberd, that would have been insanely bad for him.
That was like all those Let's Plays of Amnesia where they're just like, they're about to walk into danger and then the thing walks by. Wow. Well, now my heart was pounding for our friendly neighborhood Spirit Breaker there, but he does survive and finish. He gets pinged, by the way, by JOT. I'm like, what the hell is this guy
there's still there's a ward standing still there, so yeah. They just said, "Oh, look at that! We missed a free kill." Well, but not a free kill. Maybe
big kill actually. If they had killed him and held him off of the halberd, that would be not
insane. That would be also not done in time before the next Roshan. I mean, Roshan is up again in a couple of seconds.
Interesting that Gyro has chosen to Lincolns, so that is good against Scythe of Ice. Like, if you get Scythe of Ice so that you can't use your BKB, that would be very annoying, and instead he has done that. Also, Spirit Breaker spells can be cancelled by the Lincolns as well.
And there's not that much that can hit the Lincolns straight away, like that you would want. Which, like, of course, if you're a Gyrocopter and you're up against the Lincolns, you're gonna pop your homing missile to take it down. But what is Uebelst gonna do to get rid of the Lincolns?
Gyro was just sitting. Airman was sitting inside of the pit to get this. Will he sell for this? Is my question.
Maybe he's gonna sell. No, KSI is gonna take it.
Yeah, there's a cheese as well. I don't know. I feel he maybe could ditch something. No, he hasn't. Okay.
Well,
Doom just cheese on Sakura. Okay.
Maybe he'll just keep it safe until Doom doesn't have the Aegis anymore.
Yeah. This is a problem for Uebelst, though, because now they're facing 7 heroes, essentially, instead of 5. It becomes much, much more difficult to solve that team fight. Good news is, hey, Gyro's maxed, so he can't hold the Aegis. Aegis Gyro is actually really scary, so it's good that he doesn't have it. I think his next purchase is maybe finish the Daedalus and then make a new BKB.
Yeah, I would like to see new BKBs.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind seeing the new BKB before the Daedalus.
And more smokes picked up by the Spirit Breaker. Because so far, I mean, Uebelst, they gave the Roshan to Poseidon. They didn't even try to contest it this time.
Yeah, I mean, they predicted Poseidon had it timed perfectly. They got it down so quickly, and they were positioned. At this point, they don't need to commit any more than just the gyrocopter to it, so it's not much you can do.
And that's the Lincoln's pop.
Oh, they try to catch.
Shut
Almost.
in, only creep.
Almost.
What pop? Oh, actually, Enchantress can pop the Lincolns every time. She can.
And she did, yeah.
Pretty decent.
Actually, huh? Did she not? I think she may have missed because I think Charge procced it. Odd.
Actually, Charge is on cooldown.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Enchantress actually just got a creep towards her domination, so that was a charge that missed.
That's too bad because, yeah, the Lincolns is going to make it very difficult to cross-map suddenly win the game by jumping on Gyro.
Yeah.
And also, if you charge him and he procs Lincolns and he sees that Lincolns has been procced, he's like, seems like they may be ganking me. And that's a good, like, early warning system. It's kind of the Lincoln's canary in the coal mine. Here we go. Big fight.
Yep, let's see. We already have Weaver leading the charge. Nice bugs. In comes a cooldown. BKB turned on by the Gyro. Looking for targets as we already have Clockwork picked up. Alex hold in place and taken down. Enchantress trying to do what he can. There's the hex up on the Gyro. Can they do enough is a question. Sky in the meantime trying to make something happen so far. Hasn't been able to kill off anybody just yet. Everybody very low, but Sky decides to try and run. Still has a time lapse. Go for Sakura. Sakura gets himself out. And in the meantime, still have Judgment. In comes a Chain Frost and down goes Exist and Eid. Getting himself back, but I mean this fight, Poseidon just dominating 3 kills for 0.
Yeah, this is very, very, very big for Poseidon.
And
nice
also
kill
a
on
nice
Sky.
Weaver kill with Naga Siren Song holding him in place long enough for him to take down, and of course the dust helping out as well. Timelapse was already on cooldown. Actually, wasn't on cooldown. Never mind that. They just were able to take him down, and this actually they need to have the buybacks.
It's gonna be buybacks, yeah.
They can all buy back apart from Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, Spirit Breaker, yeah, won't happen, but. the patience from Xi in that fight was remarkable. He waited until after the first ultimate and after the OD committed the refresher to the fight, and then doomed the OD before he could cast the second ultimate. That, I think, probably won them that fight.
And just the whole fact that Gyrocopter was able to stay alive. Hookshot in, up on the gyro, but Edie's gonna pay for that. He was already taken down. He already bought back earlier. Now Alex, next one up. Looking for more targets. See, is he gonna be able to find one? Cooldown coming down. Nice S from Prism, keeping him safe for a little while longer, but they just go for racks. They get themselves melee racks, and now Airman can try and find some more targets, but everybody runs, so he goes for more racks, because that's cool. And I think we're gonna see maybe the end of the game.
It's definitely going to be tough for Uebelst to hang on at this point. They're stuck so far on the back foot. In the end, they just couldn't make quite enough happen with the ancillary picks. Like, the Weaver and OD are big, but the Spirit Breaker and Clockwork aren't where you would need them to be.
Yeah, that's a Hex on cooldown on the Lincolns again for Illidan, so this is going to be another set of racks. They can't really fight them right now, and Poseidon, I wouldn't actually blame them for going bottom lane as well. The creep wave is already pushing in there. And
they should.
So far, I mean, they have got Doom up again as well. Cooldown is up
and
again
Aegis.
in 3. The Song is up again soon, again in 20, and indeed, like I said, the Aegis still hanging around up in the Doom, and why not? Mega creeps incoming. Weaver with Mask of Madness.
Poseidon handled the... Yeah, actually, it's smart. He needs to go all in.
Yeah, he goes all in. Cooldown coming down. He comes to see they're looking for a target. Finds the Doom up on Exist. He's already forced to back out of the fight. Clockwork, of course, first one to die again. Spirit Breaker soon to follow. Enchantress Ghost Sceptering, hopping herself out of this fight, getting chased down though by Medved and Airman. TP out will not be successful. That's a kill. GG, well played, and it is Poseidon that takes themselves to the top of the charts, because right now with this win they are indeed #1 in StarSeries across the board.
Very nicely played, honestly, by both teams. Uebelst in the end. Poseidon was completely prepared for that big team fight around the tier 2 top. They spread out to limit the impact of Sanity's Eclipse, and they doomed before the second Sanity's Eclipse could come. After that, it was sort of a cascading back foot for Uebelst. And they played well. They hung on for a very long time. Weaver and OD were very tenacious in terms of being able to farm up and keep themselves in the game. And in the end, Illidan is pretty good at that gyrocopter hero.
That is indeed true. I have to say though, I mean, kudos to Uebelst for holding out for so long. I mean, Poseidon definitely for me was one of the bigger favorites in this matchup. And the fact that Uebelst was still able to make it an even fight up against the #1 team now in StarSeries is still quite a bit of an accomplishment, especially considering the first 2 games that we saw of them today. And of course, also thank you for co-casting. You want to have any shoutouts and plugins?
Sure. I mean, thank you so much for having me on again. It's always really, really fun. And we had some pretty great games today, so it's very fun to watch those, of course.
Yeah.
And, and yeah, we had some great games and some games.
Yeah.
But still, I think we had fun.
It's a nice balance.
Exactly. So, yeah, of course, thank you to StarLadder, running a very, very tight ship, even when weird stuff happens. And thanks to the viewers, Dota TV and Twitch TV. Everybody's part of our happy family. Did you ever, did they fix your delay server stuff?
I think so, because I don't have any issues with it anymore.
Nice. Awesome.
Since
Cool.
since that Monday night when I said like, oh, something ticked, something popped, and there was then a tick or pop, and then since then I think I don't know, a different server or something.
All right. Yeah, they probably moved you to failover or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great. Fantastic. If people want to check me out, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube.com. It's all VYKROMOND. Thanks again, Sheever. Have a good one.
Yeah, likewise, and of course, thank you for watching, of course, to every viewer here as well. Thank you for tuning in. Tune back in tomorrow. We're going to have 3 games of Dota tomorrow, starting off with a good one. Not saying that today's one weren't good ones, but we're going to have Poseidon, so that's the one that just won this fight, up against Virtus Pro. So that means old Virtus Pro versus new Virtus Pro. Starts at 1700 CEST time. We're also going to see Empire taking on Espera and Power Rangers versus Virtus Pro. So it's going to be a day of good Dota. Hopefully for Power Rangers, they'll have their internet issues fixed that they had today. And we'll still have a good game as the last one of tomorrow. But yeah, definitely, especially the first one to watch out for. Virtus Pro versus Poseidon. Which Virtus Pro is the one to be victorious? Stick around for watching commercials if you want to. If you don't want to, then that's fine as well. Then I wish you a good night. Of course, watching commercials supports us. So make sure you do that if you want to. And otherwise, have a good night and come back tomorrow. There we go. Oh yeah, and follow me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch, all under the name of Sheever Gaming. Shouldn't be that hard to find me. And that's it. There we go. That was actually it.